You know, I have to applaud Janet to a certain degree because I think men have lost their rights. In certain issues, domestic violence, sexual issues, you are guilty.
Called the Violence Against Women Act, not the Violence Against Family Members Act.
And I mean, that's not right. And so these are horrible problems that exist, and many times men are at fault, but we just assume that men are guilty without any proof.
Men can accuse women of domestic violence as well and play falsely and do the same thing.
So that is the point. That is the point that I'm trying to make, that all those issues can work both ways.
Right, that's the point, Doctor, that gender isn't going to tell you anything about who's being falsely accused, who's guilty of domestic violence, who's guilty of initiating a divorce. Gender doesn't tell you anything meaningful about that. I'm not oppressed just because I'm a woman.
Right.
Lots of men are oppressed in some very real ways. Gender doesn't give you a significant way to understand those issues. We need a bigger, broader, more inclusive, more human way to tackle these issues.
In life, all you really want is the individual choice to be who you want to be and to be given all the opportunities. And when there's any scenario where any individual in any way, shape, or form, for whatever reason, is not allowed those opportunities, that's problematic, and we always need to fight that. And in your opinion, you think men are being, look, that's fine. And we should talk about all these things, because
and I think in some cases they are.
Well, what about, she mentioned,
Maybe.
you know, in terms of pro-choice, women have the ability to choose whether or not they want to move forward with a pregnancy, but men don't have that choice whether or not they want to be a father or support that child if the woman chooses to have the child. And that made me think, you know, I don't know.
Well,
what to
I
say
think
to that.
also a lot, you know, I'm the mother of a son and a daughter, and I think that it does change your whole paradigm when you are a mother of a boy versus a girl, because these issues take on a different significance. They do. And I think that whether you're talking about religion or race or gender or anything, you know, your occupation, whether you stay at home or choose to work outside the home, I think it's a slippery slope if you make a generalization. And I think that being a mom has really taught me so much. I mean, I think there's nothing like trying to elevate your game, right, when you are a parent, and it does shift your whole mindset about this. And I think it's not one extreme or another. We have to just settle somewhere in the middle, I think.
We were talking about reproductive rights. You know, it's not just about women's right to choose. Every single state in the U.S. allows women a certain amount of time to decide if they wish to parent the child they have given birth to. In North Dakota, they have a full year to decide if they wish to assume legal, moral, financial, social responsibility for that child. If they don't, they simply surrender it and all their obligations end. They're done.
You mean they give it up for adoption?
Yes.
Yes, it's called a safe haven law. No man in the U.S. has the right to opt out of parenting a child he has biologically contributed to. And even worse than that, he doesn't have to be the biological father. He can still be held responsible. If you don't see that as a gross unfairness, I'm not sure you know what fairness means.
Well, and look, there are a lot of things in life that we know aren't fair. I still think we've made a lot of progress.
We have.
And we need to continue to have these conversations. Janet, I know you've used a lot of strong words, and I don't agree with a lot of your headlines. Just going to be frank with you, but certainly you bring up a lot of interesting points. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.